What's up, y'all? It's your guy eBay Fight Predictions in the building, and this is your UFC 301 full card predictions. Baby, decent card in Brazil. Pantoja versus Steve Erceg, Jose Aldo versus Jonathan Martinez. Those are kind of like banger fights right there. I think the main event's gonna be a great fight, and you guys are going to be kind of interested to see where I lean towards there. And obviously the co-main event, y'all know Jonathan Martinez has been my boy. He's been a marketable and profitable fighter for me, in his win streak lately. So we're going to see, does eBay finally fade Jonathan Martinez, or does he stick by his guy? Those are kind of things I look forward to talk about on this card. But before we could kind of talk about this card in general, bro, let's talk about UFC Vegas. Is it 90? Was it 90? I think it was 91. Whatever it was, Nicolau versus Alex Perez. First of all, awesome night of fights. In terms of betting, oh my God, we took some risks. The Yaya bet was horrible. I am not proud of that. That one, I'll say that right now, was not proud of that. But I mean, we hit on our parlay of Erceg and what's his name? Jonata Denise. I told you guys they were gonna do that. And then obviously Spawn let us down. Big time. Big time. I was really shocked by that. That one threw me for a loop. I didn't get that one, but hey, it is what it is. What can you do about it? And obviously, the main event in itself, Alex Perez, he looked amazing. I was happy to be wrong. Obviously, we did have a unit on Matthews Nicolaus's money line. But you guys know I love Alex Perez. I was rooting for him in my heart. I think Alex Perez is one of those guys that got lost in the shuffle in this flyweight division. One of those guys that a lot of people don't appreciate for some odd reason. First guy to finish Juice for me via leg kicks. Has had some phenomenal fights, some phenomenal scraps. He's only lost to some of the best guys in the world. Pantoja, Davison Figueiredo, and the whole hood of even fucking Dagestan knows Alex Perez went out there and beat Makayev's ass like he owed him money. But hey, it is what it is. I was happy with the card. We did good. We went 8-12. We had a good night of fights. In terms of bets, we were down. But I mean, hey, 301 is the comeback trail. I truly believe we're gonna hit a big number here. I like the bets I got going for this card. And then obviously, it's just been one of those years in terms of betting that I think anyone can kind of say it's just been rough. It's just been rough. MMA is such a tough sport to bet. And I shouldn't say MMA. The UFC is such a tough organization to be profitable at certain points. In terms of money line, money line is such a hard thing to hit nowadays. Parlays have just been tough, right? I think prop bets are the way to go. But just to keep it a buck with you guys, we are never giving up. We are never giving up, and we're gonna be hitting a big number. I like the main event here. I really do. Yeah, like I was saying, let's get into this card of UFC 301 though. And we start off with the curtain jerker. Wait, whoa. Before we get into this card, baby, go follow me on my Instagram, my Twitter, my TikTok. Like and comment and share the video. And let's get this eBay Fight Prediction Nation growing. But yeah, let's talk about the first fight of the night. Alejandro Costa versus Kevin Brojas. Costa, he looked really good in his Steve Erceg fight, honestly. Right now he's lined as the -140 slight favorite against a near even Kevin Brojas. Kevin Brojas obviously had a good fight against Joshua Van, but obviously Joshua Van, Steve Erceg are on completely different levels in my humble opinion. Obviously Van is the more up and coming prospect. You could say the same thing about Erceg, but more success as a ranked fighter. I'm not a fan of Brojas here, to be honest with you. I've been a fan of Costa, especially after the Jimmy Flick fight, and then his Erceg performance. I thought he fought really good there. And then the Amir Albazi fight. I think Amir is. You guys know, I think Amir is future champ. So I've always kind of felt like this, but hey, it is what it is. I lean towards Costa here. I don't have anything on the fight. I'm not too confident in either side, honestly, but I think Costa is the more slicker fighter. better jiu-jitsu, decent striking, and I think he gets this done by decision. But yeah, should be a good fight. Next fight. One of my more confident parlay picks here is Ismael Bonfim versus Vince Pichel. I am on the side of Ismael Bonfim. I mean, Bonfim, big favorite here for a good reason. I think he just beats Vince Pichel on every aspect of the sport. I just think he's better. I think he's a better striker, the more explosive power puncher, good jiu-jitsu, good wrestling here. I mean, Ismael Bonfim, I know he's come off a really embarrassing loss to Benoit Saint Denis, but I think Benoit Saint Denis is the truth, and I don't think there's no shame in that loss. And Bonfim, I mean, you saw what he did to Terrence McKinney, played with him, did exactly what he wanted to do to that man in that fight. So it is what it is. But yeah, I just think Pichel here at 41 years old is not the side. I think Bonfim gets it done, man. And I think he gets a second round TKO here. And I have him in a parlay. And I'm pretty confident with him winning this fight here. But yeah, it should be a good fight though. Next fight in the female division, Diana Barbosa versus Ernesta Careckaite. I think that's how you say these girls' names. Barbosa, obviously the grappler. Ernesta's obviously a striker here. Grappler versus striker matchup. I think we kind of all know where I'm going to lean here. Obviously, Barbosa comes in as the minus 220 favorite here against the slight underdog at plus 180, which I don't have a problem with the lining of that fight. I just think Barbosa is just going to take her down, and I think you're just going to see another classic female MMA fight. I got Barbosa here by decision. Wouldn't be surprised. But yeah. Next fight, Mauricio Ruffy versus Jamie Mullarkey. Mauricio had a really good performance on Contender Series. I think he's a lot younger, hungrier. Jamie Mullarkey seems shot to a certain degree. I think his chin is gone. And I liked what Ruffy did in his performance at not Tough, I'm sorry, in the Contender Series. He worked that Russian cat, man, Magomedov, showed good takedown defense and then, just broke him down with good ground and pound. But if you watch that whole fight as a whole, he just looked really, really good. The fight is lined as Ruffy being the minus 170 favorite, which I think is justified here, and Jamie Mullarkey being the plus 140 underdog. Now, Jamie Mullarkey's had some good performances, the Brad Riddell fights, the Common Worthy performances, but I thought he lost to Michael Johnson. I think he hasn't been the same, honestly, after that Johnson fight. He has one decent win, and that was against Parado, and I thought he looked good in there. Takedowns look slick. He did his thing there. But besides that, I mean, he's just been getting knocked out and getting a robbery decision win over John Medeski, and then getting knocked out again against Nasser Hascroft. I just don't think he's the side here. I think you got to go Ruffy. I don't have nothing on the fight, but I don't think he's a bad piece to put money on or put in your parlay. I think he's gonna win this fight. I'm pretty confident. Just not to obviously, I got to be really high on you at this point with these Contender Series guys because you never know. You just never know with them. So I'm just not gonna take that that bet there. Next fight, Joaquim Silva versus Drakkar Klose. Good fight in the lightweight division. I think this is going to be a good scrap here, honestly. Obviously, you have Joaquim Silva as a plus 140 underdog, and Drakkar Klose is the minus 170 favorite. Decent odds here. Very, very close fight. I think, obviously, Joaquim is the better striker here, and obviously, Drakkar Klose is the more well-rounded fighter. Obviously, I think that's how they're lining this fight. Here's the thing, Drakkar is on a good win streak, 3-5 win streak. Ever since his Beneil Dariush loss, he's been doing pretty good. But he's 36 years old. He's pretty old. His chin is somewhat suspect. Joaquim Silva also has a super suspect chin. It hasn't, showcased necessarily, but I mean, wins over Clay Guida in his last fight, got destroyed by Arman Sarukian, but he does have that moment where he rocked them. The Jesse Ronson flying knee, but besides that, I mean, he got knocked out by Ricky Glenn, which is just such a horrible look. Smoked by Nasrat. So I don't know where he really falls in this division, but I'm just gonna rock with a more well-rounded guy in Drakkar Klose. He seemed more durable. He's been really good lately, and yeah, it is what it is. But I think Drakkar Klose gets the decision victory here, but should be a good fight though, nonetheless. But Wouldn't be surprised if Joaquim Silva flying knees KOs the guy. Honestly, wouldn't be surprised. Next fight, Gene Silva versus William Gomis. Good fight. In this lightweight division. Right? Is it lightweight? Yeah. Oh no, my bad. Featherweight division. William Gomis has been good, but he hasn't really separated himself from the competition. I like Gene Silva's game. I'm gonna rock with Gene Silva here. I just think there is that threat of grappling that he can present to Gomis here. Gomis obviously good striking, but he just hasn't really impressed me in his last fights. I mean, honestly, Yunus Gamarani, that was a weird fight. The Francis Marshall fight was a split. Geronimo Ernest, I mean, that's aged kind of well for him to a certain degree, but I wasn't too impressed. I mean, Gene Silva, he looks decent, has decent power, and obviously can grapple. I actually think Silva gets the submission victory here in the third round, but should be a good fight though. I just think the grappling edge here for Silva should be big, and I think he should win this fight nonetheless. So should be a good scrap. Next fight, well, banger right here. Elvis Brener versus Mekbek or Bile. I got let me see. Let me go check my bets actually. But I have Mekt or Bal here in my parlay. I'm just trying to figure out who do I have him parlayed with. But dude, this is going to be a barn burner of a fight, honestly. Let's see how it's lined here. Obviously, I do think it's kind of crazy to have Brener as a plus 200 dog here, which I don't necessarily agree with. But I do think Mekbek is the truth. I know a lot of people talk about Medic didn't have a training camp for a grappler. This. He just went up in weight class. We all know Medic was a former 155, but he went up on short notice and just destroyed him. I think Elvis Brener, and that's why I think this fight is somewhat lined the way it's lined. He's been a fluke machine. I mean, okay, he lost the Zubair Tukhugov fight. I thought he lost it. I think it's pretty clear. The Grom Kurledzi fight, it was a star-studded performance. It was a phenomenal performance. I'm not going to take nothing from the guy in that fight. But we know Garam Kurledzi got caught with some crazy shot. And Garam beats him 10 out of 9 times. Okay? Or 9 out of 10 times. It doesn't matter. He beats that guy. And we all know it. His last fight, I mean, he should have done what he did to that guy. But Brener, he's just been on a really good win streak. And we know what happens when these shoot box guys fights these cliff dweller wrestlers. They give up. And it's just how I see this fight going. Brener's obviously a stud in his own right, but I just don't see him going out here and doing his thing. I just really, really don't. I really, really don't. I truly believe. But yeah, like I was saying before I was interrupted, this fight's gonna be amazing. But I just think Mekbek right here in this spot is just a good spot to have. And yeah, I do have him parlayed here with another fighter. So it's kind of, I can't give it up yet, but I will give up my bets. But I do have Mekbek in my parlay here. I just think, honestly, I think Brener's just gonna choke. I mean, he's on a good run. I just don't think he can keep it up. And I think he's a good fighter. Don't get it twisted, but I just think, like I said, man, those shootbox guys, they give up to them cliff dwellers like we've seen before. And I just think he's a good spot, even though the odds do suck. I just do think, truly believe, he's the guy. And I mean, if anyone got a good number on him before, I mean, the line just blew up like this. Yeah, obviously in this kind of situation, I would say Brener, dog or pass in this kind of fight. And I don't disagree with anyone going with Brener because it just, the odds is just so kind of like semi disrespectful. But I just do it. I think he's gonna choke. I just do. I really do. But yeah. Next fight, Karolina Kowalkiewicz versus Iasmin Lucida. I mean, Karolina's made a good run, man. I mean, 4-fight win streak right here. She's been winning a lot of her fights, but Lucinda, I think she's better than her. Obviously younger than her. 38 years old for Karolina. I just don't think is a good slot here. Yeah, I just think Lucindo here wins this fight by decision. No really big breakdown here. I just think age and youth and just a girl entering her prime, basically. I know 22 isn't that, that great of a number, but still. It's a lot better than 38. I'll tell you that. So yeah, I got listened to here. And to I guess finish this parlay, we got Joe Anderson Brito versus Jack Shore. You guys know how I feel about Jack Shore. I think he's probably one of the more overrated UK fighters. Mr. Ed, your UK boy is going down, buddy. He's going down. All right, boss man. And I mean, this concludes my first parlay of Mr. Brito and Ismael Bonfim. I just think those two guys right here are gonna fucking slam it, and obviously a unit on the parlay. But I just truly believe Brito is way better than Jack Shore here. I really do. I think he's gonna maul him, man. I really do think so. I don't think, besides Jack Shore maybe pitter-patting him in the distance and maybe getting takedowns here, I just don't think he can deal with the physicality of Brito. We saw what Brito did to his son Diego Lopez on the Contender Series, and he's been on an insane win streak. KO knockout of Andre Philly, Lucas Alexander rear naked choke, Weston Wilson KO TK ground and pound, and then his just last performance against Jonathan Pierce where he submitted him. And I mean, Pierce was having a good performance in his last fight against Onama. Close fight though, but yeah. I think he's the side here. I think Jack Shore looked god awful against Americani, who is obviously a sub and bust kind of fighter who just looks for an anaconda and just calls it quits after he can't get it. So I'm not impressed. I mean, he got humiliated against Ricky Simone. I told you guys Ricky Simone was the side. This was almost, a year and 9 months ago. And yeah, I was proven right that day. But Brito is obviously the side. I think Brito gets him out of there, honestly. I think he beats the shit out of Jack Shore in the second round via TKO ground and pound. I think he's just gonna smoke him. And yeah, next fight, Paul Craig versus Kyle Borralho. Man, this also concludes my other parlay of what's it called? Let me find it. Let me find this shit. My bad, y'all. Mekbek Orbel and Kyle Borralho. This concludes it. I mean, Borralho should fucking run over Paul Craig. I like Paul Craig, but I think Brendan Allen put out the blueprint on to beat him. Good distance striking, and just good sprawls. I think Borralho's the better grappler here. Borralho's looked really good in his last few fights. Do I think he could get fucking upsetted? I wouldn't be surprised. You can't call out Paul Craig. I mean, wins over Magomed Ankalaev and Jamal Hill says enough. But 36 years old, at a different weight class, weight drained in my humble opinion. His last one was against Andre Manez, which was a good performance, but I just think Borralho's the side here. Younger guy, he's proven to be good. I've doubted him at moments, but I think he's a legit dude at 185 that's here to stay. And I think he has a showcase performance here against Paul Craig. And I think he gets the rear naked choke, honestly, in the second round. But I wouldn't be surprised if Paul Craig gets the victory. You can never count that man out. Next fight, Michel Pereira versus Ihor Potieria. Ihor Potieria did me dirty in his last fight, putting on a performance of a lifetime and winning that fight. I think Michel Pereira gets it back in blood. I think Michel Pereira gets him out of here, honestly. Ihor Potieria, I'm not a big fan of this guy. Do I think he could go out here and maybe do some stuff? Maybe. I think Michel Pereira in his own right is a fraud, but fraud versus fraud, it kind of cancels out, and whoever is the bigger fraud usually ends up losing. And I think Ihor Potieria is the bigger fraud here. I think Pereira by knockout is a good pick here. I think he gets him out of there really quick in the first round. And I'm not saying Pereira is a bum. I'm really not saying that. But my thing is, I think Pereira, I think eventually in the ranked weight class of 185 will get fraud checked eventually, and that's just my side. So that's how I feel. But hey, it is what it is. Next fight, Anthony Smith versus Vitor Petrino. Man, this is a tough one. I've been somewhat impressed with Vitor and then not. And I think Anthony Smith is shot after being completely destroyed in his last fight against Killer Roundtree. I just don't think Anthony Smith has anything left in the tank, honestly. And that's just how I feel. I think he's not the same guy that fought Ryan Spawn the first time. I thought he lost that second Ryan Spawn fight. And yeah, I mean, he was looking good in the Roundtree fight, but I don't think highly of Roundtree. So it's like, I don't think Smith is the same guy he used to be. The Glover chair fights, even the injuries against Magomed Ankalaev, I think they took a lot out of him. And I think Vitor's just the side here. I think his physicality, his athleticism, the wrestling edge here, I think should be a big thing for him here. And I think Vitor should get a decision victory over Anthony Smith. I don't think I'm going to be too impressed with Vitor here. Smith is tough. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Patron by decision is the pick. In the co-main event, Jonathan Martinez versus Jose Aldo. Okay. All right. So before I picked Aldo, if you guys saw my stream, you guys asked me about it. But I've switched my pick. I got a unit on Jonathan Martinez's money line. I am sticking by my boy. And this was a tough pick for me. But Jose Aldo is 37 years old. He hasn't fought in, a year and almost 5 months? Yeah, 8 months. He hasn't fought in a year and 8 months. He is not the side here. Yes, a prime Jose Aldo in a 3-round fight is probably the side against Jonathan Martinez. But I don't think he's in his prime. His last best win was against Rob Font. Where's Rob Font in this division? You know what I'm saying? Rob Font has not looked like that guy in a very long time. Now, did he beat a prime Rob Font? Yeah, of course he did. But his last real credible win at 135 pounds is against Marlon Vera. You know what I'm saying? Pedro Munoz has withered, has not shown himself. Jonathan Martinez is 30 years old, entering his prime. His Martinez fight. His Yanez fight was a performance of a lifetime. I told the whole hood, if they were willing to listen, Martinez is that guy. Does Martinez has question marks on him? Bad chin? Yeah, I agree. He's been rocked before. The Davey Grant fight comes into mind. We know Aldo has power, but has he shown us KO power? Not really. I mean, I guess he rocked a chinny Rob Font. It was impressive when it first happened, but I mean, Davison Figueiredo's doing that, coming from 125 pounds. So I don't know how impressive it is. And he doesn't leg kick anymore. You know, we all know Aldo is one of the greatest leg kickers of all time. But if you don't use it, you lose it. We know Jonathan Martinez is one of the most deadly leg kickers in the division, side by side with Chris Gutierrez. Call me crazy, but I think Jonathan Martinez gets the passing of the torch of a lifetime from Jose Aldo. And he becomes the best leg kicker in the sport by beating one of the former best leg kickers in the sport via leg kicks. I think Jonathan Martinez, call me crazy, gets a leg kick TKO over Jose Aldo. I know a lot of people are gonna just be hating, but I truly believe he can do this. If you just look at the facts, Aldo is primarily boxing. He's boxing orientated. Did he bring the kicks back for the Rob Font fight? He did. I'm not saying he didn't, but we know the facts. And I think Jonathan Martinez is the side here. I got a unit on his money line, and I think he gets it done, man. I say he gets it done by third round TKO. It's going to be a phenomenal fight. I can't wait for it. We are Team Martinez here all the way. And yeah, man, I think Aldo doesn't get the return he was hoping for. At 37 years old, at 135 pounds, it just does not sit well with me. But yeah, I got Martinez here getting the victory. And yeah. So in the main event, Steve Erceg versus Alejandro Pantoja. I want to start off by saying I've been such a fan of Pantoja for a long time. He ended the Royvals. No, I shouldn't say the Royvals. He ended the Brandons, the Morenos, and the Royval. He ended those two clowns back to back, and it was spectacular. I love Pantoja. I think he's one of the best 125-pound champs of all time. He's up there. I really do. His run to the belt is magnificent. He was really the uncrowned champ every time Moreno had that belt, and I felt like his rise to that moment was awesome. His post-fight speech saying, "Are you proud of me now, Dad?" is iconic. But there's a but here. I think with every great run comes with a great end, and every great moment comes with a great moment of a passing of a torch. And I think Steve Erceg in this moment here against Pantoja is the side. Astro Boy has looked amazing. And a lot of people might not agree with me here, but I truly believe Pantoja, if you watch the fights, his Royval fight was very interesting. He left his chin up in the air. He has been caught by guys like Figueiredo, and he's been hurt. Steve Erceg has probably some of the best hands in the division. We saw in his last fight against Mashno what he did to him. It was amazing. I think Steve Erceg, I think it's his moment to shine, and it's his moment to win this belt. I think Steve Erceg in 3 fights in this UFC career has proven to be one of the better guys in the flyweight division. I know a lot of people are doubting him here, but I think the boxing is on a different level, and Steve Erceg won't be scared to initiating grappling. Now, that's probably one of the biggest factors of this fight is how effective will Pantoja's grappling be. We saw in the Royval fight he got tired. It is a grueling 5-round pace that Pantoja puts, and yeah, it affects his opponents, but it can affect him. Now, sometimes he does a good job of looking tired, he's spent out, but he just keeps pushing. How long can you do that? You know what I'm saying? That's my question. How long can he keep pushing against a young, hungry guy who's 28 years old, who's ready to be a world champion, against a guy that's 34, that got the belt late, probably should have got a lot sooner, has a great resume, but he is on the decline to a certain degree. The chin is in the air. He can't rely on durability forever. This guy's a legit hitter he's fighting in Steve Erceg. We've seen Erceg really hurt people in all 3 of his fights. You know what I'm saying? He hurt Costa. He hurt, what's the guy's name? David Dvorak. And he fucking slept Schnell. You know what I'm saying? Pantoja did it too. But again, Pantoja gets hit a lot. And in those exchanges, I just feel like Steve Erceg is going to put the pressure on Pantoja. I do not think he's going to let him up. And I truly believe deep down in my heart, I think Steve Erceg is going to be your new 125-pound champion. And he wins that damn belt in Rio at UFC 301 to cap it off. I can't wait to watch it. I think it's going to be a great fight. And I got Steve Erceg here by 3rd round TKO. I think it's going to be awesome. I can't wait for it. And yeah, man, I got a unit on his money line. And to give you guys kind of like the bets, obviously 2 parlays here of Mr. Mecht Obel versus Evers. Obviously, I got Mecht Obel and Kyle Borralho in a parlay here with Bonfim and Brito also in another one. And then I got 2 money line bets on Erceg and Martinez. Obviously, hopefully we hit. But yeah, man, I am kind of hyped for this card. I think it's a good opportunity to make some cash. And yeah, man, can't wait to get it done, baby. Get it done. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Go follow me on my Instagram and my Twitter, like, comment, and share the video. Sorry for this being so late. You guys know I'm filled with schoolwork and obviously all my other stuff I got to do, like work and just getting that bag. But yeah, man, can't wait to watch these fights. I will be streaming the pay-per-view. But yeah, we are Team Steve Erceg here, getting it done. But yeah, man, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Love y'all. Goodbye. Don't forget to like, comment, and share the video. And let's get this eBay Fight Prediction Nation growing.
Channel. I'm gonna go check that out. And hey, subscribe to eBay's Fight Prediction. Let's keep the eBay Fight Predictions Nation growing.